Editing takes time. Making sure your screen recordings and your alternate camera angles are all sunk up to audio is really difficult with a computer. Adding things like picture-in-picture really helps you convey what you want your audience to understand. Adding things like on-screen graphics can further punctuate your ideas, but it's really difficult to guess where things are, so it looks like you're interacting with them in real time. What if I told you that everything I did was done in the moment without any post-production? I didn't use any editing software to switch between these camera angles, and the picture-in-picture and all those graphics were done by myself with my hands and my feet. Let me show you how. Okay, here is the second part to the Sheds Studio tour. So I wanted to show you how the switching works, what I use for monitoring, how I kind of do live streams and stuff. So the warning, you'll see my feet. I don't know if you have any like feet aversions, but you might see my feet. So this is the big brain here. This is the Blackmagic ATEM Mini Pro, and it allows me to, I have the different cameras here. So camera 1 is this camera, which is my main camera. This is the Canon EOS R with a Sigma 18-35 lens. So that allows me to get this shot. You can see this one. This is my, let me get out of there so we can, this is my third camera. This is a Sony ZV-1. And then here is this is the second camera. This is a Canon EOS RP. And then it is connected with this goofy bracket that I have made. And then this is my microphone. It's right out of frame. It's right here, but it's an AKG 1000S. And with the thing that came around here, it actually created like a space that gave me like this weird resonance, this weird high frequency resonance that sounded like, oh, it was just a crummy mic. But as soon as I removed that thing that went around it, all that went away. So if you have one of these, because I know these were popular a while back, if you take that off or if you modify it by cutting off the windscreen section, it actually sounds really good. So that's my Blackmagic. But if you notice, I was using my hands the whole time. So when I go to record, like we're recording right now, I actually use the Blackmagic to record to an SSD. So I have like start and stop here. This also can stream. This has an encoder to connect to like YouTube or Facebook. So I have that connected with Ethernet. At any point I can stream. Everything that would be recorded to the hard drive is sent out to stream. It also has an HDMI out. So I have this. This is an HDMI to USB converter that goes to another computer that actually runs like Zoom. So if I'm doing a conference call or a live stream where I want, more immediate feedback, it's not going to be on YouTube. I'll use a second computer that goes on top of this book. And then it gets this feed. And that's how I do my my podcasts, my video podcasts as well. So normally this camera is on this station here, which is next to me, and right now I have it on a slider, but it goes there, and I can kind of move it around to get cool shots of things, B-roll and stuff. I know this isn't the best B-roll camera, but it's really, really, really convenient. So like there it is. And then what I have is I have this guy. It's the remote that comes with it. So it has a built-in zoom rocker and then a customizable button. So what I did was, here's my zoom rocker. I can zoom from right there. And then I mapped the button to turn off autofocus. So like right now, it's great. It looks really cool. But if I go to play something, let's go. It's always changing focus. So if I get into a good position, I just click the button. Now it's not going to change focus, and it doesn't do that pulsing in and out of stuff, because that was kind of annoying. So let's look under the desk here. We'll zoom out. Okay, here's underneath the desk. This is a computer that's running the ATEM software, and then I'm using It's really difficult to see down here. This program called Bome Midi Translator. So I have this Keith McMillan foot switch. Oh, that's really ISO'd. And then I use my toes. So keyboard 1, that goes through MIDI translator. And then I have it running an Apple script so that when I press the foot switch, it triggers an Apple script, which brings up the program, and then it does the correct keystroke to change camera views. So I have that for here. This is camera 1, camera 2. If I hit it, you won't see this. Camera 1, camera 2, camera 3, and then camera 4 is actually my computer. I have 2 outputs, HDMI outputs on my computer. So if I wanted to show my computer, I could then hit camera 4, and I'm here. I could talk about things here, and I could just use my feet to change views, and it makes it super easy. Now, one of the newer things that I've added is this Stream Deck, which is running through something called Companion by Bitfocus. So here's my Stream Deck. What I was able to do, ooh, I gotta bump that ISO back down. Doop, 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 doop. Okay, so my Stream Deck is now able to, it's not I turn my focus back on. Okay. The Stream Deck I've mapped to do special things with the Blackmagic ATEM Mini. So if I press 1 here, it brings up a picture-in-picture of camera 1, 2 is camera 2, 3 is, well, I have to fix that. 3 is camera 4, and then 4 is camera 3. You could accidentally get yourself a bunch of times, which is kind of weird. And then this button kind of kills it. And then we have this special button. Let me show you what that special button does. So one of the things that, well, I guess I have to show you this first before I talk about the special button. Along with my crazy rig, I have this monitor, and this monitor shows me the output of my ATEM Mini. So what I'm able to do is, like anything that I have open, I see it there. And if including like if I have this open, you can't see that, but I see that there. Now, one of the things that the Blackmagic has in it, it has a chroma keyer. So it's also known as like green screen. So it'll take a color and then it will delete the color. So like here is a green screen, and what I can do is I press my fun button, and right now it's engaged. So I have an overlay of everything coming out of my computer, but it's all green. You can probably see it in my glasses. You might be able to see a little green. But I can press a key, and then I see that there's a C here, and I see this in my monitor. I see it in my monitor, so when I point to it, I'm actually pointing to this. And I could use either my fingers here, or I have a second switch that I don't have hooked up, but I have a second switch underneath the desk that will, it's mapped to be spacebar. So it will be like, all right, here's C, I press that switch, here's A, I don't know why it's out of order, and there's B. So that's the way that I do those kind of things. So it's great, I could bring up an object, I can interact with the object in real time, and it really helps with like post-production. The whole goal of this studio is to get rid of a lot of post-production. Now I do go in and I do edits. I use Adobe Premiere to do edits. I do make like thumbnails and animations and stuff, and I usually use Apple Keynote for that because that's just what I'm used to. But I don't want to have to go in and do all the video switching. That takes so much time. I don't want to put in like text and animations here, and then I don't know where to point to them. They would just be here and be like, hey, check this out. It's doing a thing. And that takes so much time. I want to just be able to press record and then just cut out any bits that I messed up on. And I've done this enough to where I can get really quick with it. It was super awesome when we were teaching remotely, or if I ever have to zoom into a class, because that the output of the Blackmagic going to, well, you can't see it because it's behind a bunch of speakers. The output of the Blackmagic goes right into the second computer, and then I'm able to, just show my students exactly what it's like as I'm there. It's like there's the whiteboard, I'm right here, and I get to be a little more of a YouTuber-y person than a classroom teacher. So what else do I have in here? For audio right now, I am using an Universal Audio Apollo Twin. This is my dongle to hook up my Zoom computer. So that allows me to like hook up a guitar, use the software built in, and all that, which is amazing to get good guitar sounds. I use a Shure SM7B for like the podcasting stuff. It's on this boom arm. And then I take the output from my Boss Katana for guitar. So it has a recording out, and I just bring that into the Universal Apollo. For when I'm doing conference calls, one of the hard parts was to figure out, like, okay, how do I hear myself and I hear the conference call? And if I wanted to record it, how do I not record them too? So I have this, is by Art. It's the MX822. It's a mixer. So I can, have multiple sources in that, and then it has multiple outputs. So I have headphone output, and then I can easily just turn it so that either I'm listening to it on these JBLs or these iRig iLouds. These iRig iLouds are amazing, by the way. And then for monitoring, I used to use just like Apple headphones, but then I got some people that were like, "Hey, I don't want to." It looks like you're listening to music when you're talking to us. So these are Sennheiser in-ear monitors. I love these. They're so comfortable. And then I just put them behind, and they have a pretty good passive noise isolation. So like when I put them in, I hear myself. I'm able to hear the audio out of this computer. And then if I'm talking to someone on Zoom, I'm able to hear them, and that's not like conflicting with the hardware the sound coming out of my main computer. I have used different, like I use Loopback all the time. So this is Loopback by Rogue Amoeba. I do that for to get audio out from my Zoom computer back into this computer so that in a live stream you can hear that. But I found that like using software, routing, and relying on OBS and stuff, maybe it's just because I'm using a Mac, but it has never been really reliable. But once I moved to having everything with hardware, like this switcher and just recording right to the hard drive, and then having everything and knowing I don't have to like mess with settings, it's just all there, turn it on, let's go. It has made it really fast. So I know this is kind of a hodgepodge of stuff. You might be able to take some ideas from what I do into your own studio. Maybe you can make it cleaner. I don't know. I got to make this cleaner. These lights are, I got to get less bulky lights. I have these huge, big soft boxes. If you get like some LED panels and then maybe some auto poles, so I can just have it. I got like, you don't want to see the floor around these lights. I got so many stands, but all right, there we go. It's a little long, but there's the second part of the shed tour.